when I woke up this morning, I was feeling pretty dangerous.
We're on to Cincinnati.
It's my team. It's my quarterback.
They are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
Hello? You play to win the game.
They want you to cook the dinner. At least they ought to let you shop for some of the groceries.
And on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off.
Playoffs? You kidding me?
I'm just here so I won't get fined.
How can you not be romantic about football, man?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Benched with Bonnetta. What were you ing?
Oh, Aaron
By the
Rodgers.
way, Colleen Wolfe is here. My bestie.
Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
Aaron Rodgers saying, "How can I be beautiful football man?" Do you think he's gone? Just real quick. Is he gone or is he not gone?
He's probably going to play with us all because he loves the attention. So I don't know.
Doesn't
he's probably
he?
coming back.
What do you think happened, though? Because, like, way back when, he didn't seem to love the attention. And then he started going on McAfee's show, and then all of a sudden we're talking about his toes and his ayahuasca journey. And
Well, my whole thing is I feel like everyone he dates, he kind of becomes them, like their personality. And so
is he like a soul snatcher?
Like kind of
Like a
do you have?
warlock?
I have a friend, and she will remain nameless, but she's like a very old friend of mine, and I love her to death. But she is a little bit the same way, where whoever she dates, she's like a chameleon. So she ends up sort of becoming a little bit of that person. And that's exactly how Aaron Rodgers is. Because think about it, like when he was with Danica, he was very GQ Who was it? No, who was it before Danica?
Danica doesn't strike me as GQ. Olivia Munn.
So when he was with Olivia Munn,
he was very GQ.
And then with Danica, he was like a little sportier.
Yes.
And then this past time, he was just like really crunchy granola. And I don't know. Like,
but the crunchy granola girl is gone.
She's gone.
As far as we know.
But I guess there's no one.
But the granola has stayed.
Yes, but I don't know who the next one is. So we have to just wait and see because I guess this is what we got until someone new comes around.
I love that this podcast is already off the rails. Guys, welcome to the show. Today we are going to be going back and looking at listening and looking and watching the best sounds of the season. This is kind of like I went through my brain and was just like, okay, what
crazy
if
place.
I listened to these like 5 years from now, I'm going to be like, wow, this is like fully defined that season for me. So we're going to go through, we're going to listen to some of these. These are not plays, by the way. I didn't put any plays in there. I was thinking like the Jefferson catch and all of these, the crazy Patriots conundrum that happened against the Raiders. You could do all of those things, but no, I want to have more personality on this show. So let's start with the first one. We're just going to blind react to them. Colleen does not know the ones that I have chosen. So let's take a walk down memory lane.
Okay.
DC! Making sure you was ready. Let's do it today.
Love you, man.
I love you too.
I know that laugh anywhere.
Easy. Way to finish it. I'm happy when one of us score. I'm good. I'm happy. Hey! We good! Hey, nah. What was all that for?
I don't know what happened, man. Hey, that was you?
Yeah!
Oh, y'all boys won.
I get that, but damn! Alrighty. He didn't do nothing. That sounded like a little teddy bear. I'm so proud of you. The spin moves is unbelievable. Hopefully Madden boosts up my speed a little bit. Ooh, 144. Hell yeah. How did that work?
Jamal Williams is my favorite person in the entire world.
He's his own soundboard. Even during Hard Knocks, when Dan Hansis and I had the Hard Knocks podcast, it was like he was such a star on that show. And I remember he was breaking down the huddle one day and he started crying. And I was like, oh my God, he's just so emotional. And then the last week, when they interviewed him on the field, I mean, he went from crying and being so emotional about his grandfather to we're the Detroit Lions. Don't be fooled by the tears. It's all dog in here.
I freaking love him so much. He is was last year as well when the Lions weren't even great as they are now. He is definitively my favorite player in the NFL. He doesn't claims to not watch TV, although he somehow knows. Yeah, I guess that we all talk about him. Okay, Jamal Williams, we love you on this podcast and in this world. You are a beautiful person.
Come through. Come on the show. It's not my show, but I'll invite you on.
No, and you can come over. You can come hang with
That's
all,
great.
We can have a little
great.
hang.
Love
Okay,
it.
what's the next one?
I get more sleep now than I did in my past endeavors. It's partially because it didn't matter. I used to be able to really push it from game day to almost Wednesday without showering. Now that would be obvious. I can't hide. So and then so that you prioritize that, and then that's something that I knew had to be adjusted. From the moment that I was assembling the coaching staff.
Baby girl, everyone knew. It didn't matter that you were a head coach or not. Everyone probably knew that you were not showering.
Yeah.
What an absolute wild thing to admit.
Well, that's the confidence right there. I mean, can you imagine if that was even the case and then admitting it to everyone on a microphone? You know, it's funny because he opens it up there talking about how not getting sleep. He used to not worry about it. The first time I ever met him, the first conversation we ever had was about how you don't sleep during the NFL season. And I was like, how do you cope with this? And he's like, I don't. Yeah, I guess he cuts out that time. So that's how he saves some time for himself.
What I love about this is he was really refreshing all season long. And it is absolutely terrible what happened with Tua and that we even had to deal with it. I'm so sad for Tua. I'm so sad because this season was going to be something so much different for literally everybody involved, but mostly him. But what was so refreshing to me this season was just his whole demeanor. He had some kind of preseason sit down of what head coaches do you look up to? Or the interviewer asked him a wild question. It was marry, kiss, kill.
No.
Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, and Bill Belichick.
Who did he kill?
I can't remember. Sean.
No.
Kissed Kyle. It was just so. In what world does an NFL coach even answer that question? In what world does a reporter ask somebody that question?
God.
But you feel that way with Mike McDaniel. You feel like there are no rules.
If there's
he's just a real person.
Yeah, he will play along with that game. He's so cool. He's so chill. He's so much fun. Every time, I know it's a shame for the Dolphins that this even happened, but when I was watching them on the sideline last week, Mike McDaniel with the walkie-talkie and the aviators on, every single time I was I felt like he was in Top Gun Maverick or something. I don't know.
I just wish that I was I would sign on to be the laundry person on that team and deal with all the all the nasties just so that I can hang out, just so that I could see what he's really like.
And he's super fun. You know that is not putting up
There
a
were
front.
many stories about him from Combine.
Yes.
We will say that, floating around the halls.
That's where I met him.
Mike McDaniel, we love you on this show as well. Okay, what's the next one?
Your bags haven't even hit the carousel 4 at LAX yet.
What time is it right now?
Seriously.
He's not on the time zone yet.
8:30. 8:30. So
I landed at 7:15 on Tuesday. Got to the facility at 9.
So it's been over 48 hours.
I've been lying the whole time.
Yeah, I take it all back. Yeah.
Okay, love him or hate him. I don't know where you stand. You know that I love him. But, okay, besides the kickoff return that happened this past weekend, that was the most beautiful thing that any of us have seen in the Bills game. Besides that moment, obviously that weighed much heavier. But was there a moment that was just oh my God, football is amazing this year? That this is the one that really stands out for me this season.
I loved this one so much because I was working that game here at the network, at the studio, and we were getting ready to go on for the post-game show, and it was looking the entire game like the narrative was going to go one way, and then all of a sudden Baker Mayfield just took our plans, imploded them. And I was on the set with Steve Smith Sr., who not a fan of Baker, and then MJD had been calling the game for radio, so then he came over and he was so excited. So you had those two very different polar opposite reactions and emotions. It was so much fun.
Had Steve bought in at least by the end of that game? No. Was he all right, or he was just everyone shut up?
No, of course he didn't buy in.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was great though. I mean,
this
that
was
one of
just
the
magic
moments.
in one evening that it's wow, there are people that have never really watched football and they're watching this game and they're you know what? I'm not even a football fan.
And you know what? I can't remember exactly for pregame, but I don't know if we had all been completely certain that he was 100% going to start the full game, right?
Yeah.
It was
just
he was
like,
going to
get into the mix a little bit.
He's going to dress but I was kind of like, I don't know. I have a weird feeling about this game, and I feel like we're going to see him a little bit more. And then we did, and then he had the play that won it all, and it was a nice moment for him.
That post game is also very memorable. Just him being like, I literally don't know what time it is. Like he said, he was just like, I remember him saying, or them asking him like, where are you staying? Where are your bags? Where are you sleeping tonight? And he was just like, my wife and I are staying at where we got married, which is in I know where they got married.
What?
Yeah, I've stayed there. Which is in like Malibu, like way far away, but it's like they didn't even have a second to think about a actual like good idea hotel that would be close by and like easy to get to. And they were just like, oh, where do we got to stay? I don't know. We got married here. Okay, let's go there. Like it was just such a crazy 48 hours for them.
I guess we're going to have to go to Malibu.
We're going to Malibu. Also, if you've ever seen Love is Blind, did you watch that show?
No.
Oh, okay.
A little bit.
But Love is Blind, most recent season, they go to the same resort that they also got married at.
Is this like a really nice resort? I have to go there.
Okay, what's the next one?
For the folks you said had written you off, maybe? What do you say to them?
Yeah, they wrote me off. I ain't right back, though. That's the problem. I ain't right back. Let's go.
All right, congratulations, Gino.
With a sound like that, do you have that in your pocket?
Classic.
Do you have that in your pocket?
have
Or
to.
is Gino just such a G in this moment? He just pulled it out from the back of his brain and gifted it all to us. We've been nonstop talking about this all season. People have been repeating that.
It's so good. It was such a good line, and it was so cleanly delivered, which makes me think that he had it ready to go, ready to rock. Or he just had been thinking it all year.
I mean, he should have been. Everyone wrote him off. And then they had this incredible comeback. I mean, I'm really excited that the Seahawks are in the playoffs. I am truly very excited. I hope that they get back to the Seahawks that they were like pre-Germany. I feel like I focus on that game so much because we were obviously there.
Right.
We were there. We went to Germany. It's fine.
Did you know? Did you guys know that we were in Germany?
But they stunk. They stunk it up.
Yeah, and that was
and since then, it's kind of been like up and down and around the corner. They've not looked the same.
Well, I feel like I did so much prep for that game in Germany that I have so many of these like numbers and dumb stats still in my head. But I remember it was like that 4-game winning streak that they had been on going into Germany. But then when you kind of like take a step back and look at who they were playing, it was like 2 of those games were against the Cardinals and maybe one was against the Giants, but now that doesn't hold up as much because I didn't really believe in the Giants then and I still don't really believe in them now. But I don't know. I think that, and we'll talk a little bit about this game probably coming up, but Geno Smith, like, he's never been in the playoffs before, and now he gets the #1 defense in the NFL.
And there's just something special about, like, Pete Carroll, getting rid of Russell Wilson. Now they have this, like, insane pick in the draft.
I know.
And they're in the playoffs. Like, Seattle fans, get stoked. Okay, what's the next one? Oh, speaking of.
I'm excited about it. I'm excited about the journey. And Broncos country, let's ride.
Broncos country, let's ride. Yo, Broncos country, let's ride, baby.
Broncos country, let's ride.
No.
The last one is the saddest. Okay, if you're listening on podcast form, the video is of Russell Wilson saying Broncos country, and then he steps fully out of frame, and you're like, oh, he's not gonna say it, and then he goes, that's right. Like, and if you see him actually,
in the system.
he kind of goes, he's already, you know, when your body is moving in one direction, but you're like, oh no, I gotta go back and grab this thing. He did that. He's like, Broncos country.
Let's ride. Yeah.
I hate it, but I love it just the same. Well, the amounts are the same.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful for us to just like crush all year long. When I was there for training camp, we interviewed him, and he came on the set with us. And as the final country, I was about to say, is the final question. I was like, so like before I let you go, is there anything that you would like to say to Broncos fans? Like, please, come on. And he went into this whole long thing, and I was like, come on. And then he ended it. Broncos country, let's ride.
You got to see it in person? Oh, I hate you.
I know. It was great.
Oh, man. But I think he's stopped. I think he's kind of stopped saying it.
I think that maybe he, you know, the computer system was like, Russell, you must stop.
Russell, shut down. Disengage. People are onto you.
Yeah.
Gosh, it's the gift that will not and won't. Please don't ever stop giving. What's next? All right, we got through half of my favorite sounds. Coming up after the break, I'm going to give you the rest, baby, so don't go anywhere.
Clarify, you said you would talk about quarterback next week. If you guys are eliminated today by what happens at 4 o'clock, is Sam Howell in consideration?
Oh, no!
Yeah, if the Packers beat the Vikings, then you guys are eliminated.
Oh, my God.
Well, we'll see.
No. If looks could kill,
no.
that reporter just got murdered.
Like you can see it all going through his face. Like, what? Like he's just, you can literally watch it hit his brain.
I know.
How do you not know that?
I know.
I love Ron Rivera. I want to whisper because I don't want to say anything. I love him so much. He's been through so much.
Why is it such a hot mess there?
Oh my God.
Everything is a hot mess.
We can't say this too loud. No. But it's a hot mess.
They're going to hear us.
Oh, Ron Rivera, we love you. We wish you had more. We wish you had a better situation.
Yeah.
But how do you not know that?
No
I think
one's
maybe
taking
he's just
command.
juggling too much.
I mean, that's got, or he's just like kind of checked out at this point. And
Maybe
he's like,
he
you know
was so
what?
distracted by the launch
It's a
of
disaster.
Major Tuddy. The worst you've not seen this.
Major Tuddy?
Hold on, people.
Wait,
We're going
what?
to have a live reaction from Colleen
And
Wolfe.
I do, like, I love mascots. I hail from a city of great mascots.
Oh, dude. Wait
Gritty is one of my favorites. The Fanatic is an OG.
This was announced last week, I believe.
I totally
the
missed
new
this.
mascot of the Washington Commanders.
I can't believe this wasn't on the radar.
Is Major Tuddy.
What? Is it it's a pig?
It's a pig.
Why?
And, it makes
what am I? Oh, like pig skin?
Like
is that what this is?
Like a. Oh!
Wait.
There he is.
Tuddy.
Okay, for those of you that just are just listening, we're showing footage of Major Tuddy. He is a gigantic pig. He is absolutely terrifying. What is this costume?
Oh my God! And he has a permanent smile on his face, which
and he's got a big belly.
It just seems like frightening. Like this.
Oh, he's got
this
hooves.
mascot is going to
Cancel.
come out of the shadows and like murder someone.
Listen, we've been known to
with a
cancel things on this
smile.
podcast. We're canceling Major Tuddy. Major Tuddy's
He's gotta
canceled
go.
before he even stepped out onto the field.
I know.
So now we get it. Now we know what's going on with Ron Rivera. He's
been
distracted
spending
by
time
Major
with Tuddy.
Okay, what's next?
Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for you. Thank you for you. You'll never know how much.
Oh.
You know, I
What?
saw
This is so
this.
sweet.
I saw this when it first came out. Obviously, he said Happy Thanksgiving. This was a while ago. But you can kind of hear in his voice, it cracks a little bit like he's crying. And then from like what we've seen from the Bills this past few weeks, or hasn't even been a few weeks. That's
No.
what's crazy.
No.
It hasn't even been 2 weeks yet. It's been like a week and a half at this point. But everything that we have seen out of this team is they are just like literally, this was Thanksgiving. Now can you imagine how those two feel about each other?
Thanksgiving, and he's like, it's like one of those things where you like write a card or something to like your mom or dad, and you're just like, you just don't even know how thankful I am.
I know, but like, I'm not good at like being emotional in front of people or like telling people that I really care about you.
That's
And
how
you
I
could,
am
you could
too.
you could just tell that he felt uncomfortable, but then he's like, you know what? I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna actually say it. You'll never know how much.
Oh,
That was really
this team, I don't know. They're like everything that they've been through. That's like the type of stuff that really kind of supercharges a
Gives
team.
you superpowers.
Mhm, yeah.
Get you all the way to Super Bowl and then all the way to the parade, baby. All right,
Yep.
what's next?
As an offense, though, I mean, you guys are only able to score 3 points. The defense only lets up 3 points. I mean, do you feel like you let the defense down at all?
No.
Thank you.
Someone help him.
It gets worse every time I watch that. It gets worse.
Because I always want to be like, oh, he's just like a sweet baby.
just a
He
little
just like looks like a
baby.
little kid.
A little baby.
But that you need to like, you should know better.
He's saucy about it. Like there's one thing to be like, tired after the game and be like, no, I don't know. I don't think so.
Like, everything
I'm just trying to do my
sucks.
best,
Everything's
man.
terrible
Like
right
everything is we're struggling and like, we're going to come together as a team. But for him, it was almost like he was mad that they even asked him that. And it's
Yeah.
like, no, you totally did. Are you living on a different planet where you just played a totally different game than the one that we all just watched?
Right. Like he acts like, oh my God, the audacity that you are even asking me this. Come on.
Have
like,
you seen a bigger turn of a locker room to like preseason when everyone loves Zach Wilson? Because it do a little something, okay? Get respect in his locker room.
You know, I feel like was that a chicken?
I said baka. It did sound like chicken though. And then this, and it's like, oh my gosh. Then literally next weekend, people were wearing Mike White shirts. Where'd you even find those? You had to make those.
The Mike White moment happened a few times, and I feel like the Jets are just like secret Mike White fans. Not so secret actually, because they were like dusting off their shirts that they already had. But everybody loves Mike White when he plays well, and like, you know, also the White Lotus factor too, and like, yeah, it's
what
just
is the White Lotus factor?
Well, because Mike White is Mike White's the creator of
I'm dead.
The White Lotus.
I'm dead.
So, I always like to link
all your golden
I like to
votes,
link
Mike
those
White.
two.
But gosh, what a mess. And they're still Saul's still saying like we're gonna do our best to work with him and get him to where he needs to go. Does he say?
Yeah, no way. I don't think so.
No chance, right?
I
think he's already I think he's lost too much of the locker room.
Well, I mean, especially like it's one thing to play bad, but then like to go to the mic and let your defense down when your defense is like they're playing their asses off, and look what
still
happens.
feel like there must have been other things that happened.
For sure.
Because I mean that was bad, but to fully put in Joe Flacco over your starting quarterback that started the season, like that's a little wild.
It's just so bad
for no reason.
No,
there had to be other things that happened, or something weird's going on with the coaching.
I think too. He's immature at this point. Like he looks really young, he plays really young, and then he kind of holds himself that way too. Like
he's 23.
Really?
Yeah.
He seems like he's 19.
He seems like he's 15.
And he seems like he's
10. He seems like he's 6.
But it's like the Jets had to deal with this, and not to the same level with Sam Darnold. And then it's almost like they just picked up another Sam Darnold II in Zach Wilson. Like, they got to figure something out here.
That is a hard role to fill. Like, I feel like it's like you're going into, like, the Cowboys. You're going into, like, a very famous football team with a lot of, like, really, like, any team that the team's been bad for a really long time, I feel like they're just going to, like, hold you to a higher standard.
I would just like the quarterback, like when you're drafted high too, and you're in that position and you're in that market in New York, like that's a tough spot. You need to be like a confident dude that can play.
Yeah, we thought, but we thought wrong. Okay, what's next?
Where was the pain, Jameis?
Yeah, just pain. It was pain everywhere. So we got to keep on pushing through and being resilient.
I forgot about that one. I forgot about the Saints altogether.
You know, the Saints were just such a disaster, and also just a team that had no juice all year long.
Just like, pain everywhere.
Yes, I know. And it was such a team that was very easy to forget about all year long. Like, there really weren't any, like, fun moments even with the team. But that one, that counts for me.
I remember when I was in London, I got to do my first sit down with an NFL player, and it was Jameis. And I was I was excited, and I was also very nervous.
Okay.
And I'm going to say they made us wait for quite a long time. What? Okay. Quite a long time. And then Jameis showed up. Jameis was lovely. Remembered everyone's names, which I'm always like, I can't do that. So when Jameis sits down and goes, I say my name once, very quick. Hi, I'm Rachel. Nice to meet you. We go through this whole interview. They're like, we had all these like fun things planned. They cut everything. Like their whole like demeanor. And that was pretty early on. That was in October.
Yeah.
Was like, we are here for business. We are here. We're straightforward. We've lost a couple of games. There was no fun at all. And James came in, and he was lovely. And he was like, yep. And we're going to play. And we're going to and then he said, thank you, Rachel. It was nice to meet you. And I was just like, I like Jameis a lot. Didn't play. Interview didn't run.
No.
We were there for 5 hours.
Wait, really?
Yeah, something like that. Something crazy.
That sucks. Well,
listen, stuff happens. They're not here for me. They're here to play the football. They had practice and eat it, and all of those things. I don't know.
But that is so impressive because I like Jameis Winston just remembering names full stop. Every time I've interviewed him, he's been absolutely lovely too. But someone that can remember names just after hearing them one time, I don't understand it. I wish it was me because I have name anxiety, like severe name anxiety. Like even if I'm introducing like my cousin or someone that I know really well, like I will clam up right before and have this like awful fear that I'm going to get their name wrong in front of other people and them. It's awful.
Yeah.
It's awful.
There's
so
times
I'm
where
just always like, yeah, hey, you guys all know each other.
I'm always like, this is
Cool.
Colleen. Meet Colleen. And then they're like, hi, my name is Jacob. And I was like, it's Jacob.
Before every, like
Right.
anytime I have a work event or anything and I bring John, my husband, I'll like have to brief him before. And I'm like, okay, listen, like, as soon as we walk up to someone, you just stick your hand right out there and say, hey, I'm John.
Is he good at names, at least?
No, he's terrible too. And
Just
then like he won't remember, and also he won't remember what he's supposed to do. And so I'll be like, hey,
okay, I don't know if this is confirmed a real thing. I think it might be a real thing. You know how Brad Pitt has like a disease that he can't recognize people's faces? Disease is not the right word, but it's some kind of real
of some sort.
thing that you can't recognize people's faces. But like, how convenient for Brad Pitt to have that.
Wait a second, I'm gonna tell people that I have this.
Well, because when I started learning about it, I was just like, maybe I should say that I have the same thing.
I know.
Because
what is
you
the
have
name
to
of it?
understand, I'm not trying to be rude, but you have to understand, in my brain, I'm like, like I have a trillion things going on. I have obsessive compulsive disorder. I'm probably tapping my foot 17 times to get through this minute.
Oh my God, this is like so therapeutic.
Oh
like to
my
hear
God.
that someone else is the same way as I am.
It's
because
just
like,
because my brain is doing a lot.
you're a divergent thinker, right?
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, I don't know either, but that's what
And
my therapist
I have the
says.
Brad Pitt thing. Okay,
I
what's
don't know.
next? What's the last one here?
I'm completely comfortable in who I am as a man, bro. I know I can lead men. I know the game of football, and I'm passionate about it. Here's the deal, man. None of us are promised a good job. I may be terrible at this, and after 8 games, I'll say, God bless you. I am no good. I may be really good at it. I got no idea, but I dang sure ain't gonna back down. I can tell you that.
Well, bro, the verdict's in.
Oh man.
Should we all just like go into our job and be like, I don't know if I'm gonna be good at this, but I'm gonna give it a shot.
I'm going to go into our boss's office. I'm going to go into Charlie Uke's office after this podcast and just be like, I'm going to salute him just like Jeff Saturday.
Call him bro.
Say, God bless you.
God bless you, bro. What a wild season.
Oh my gosh, for the Colts. I can't get over it because you have first like Carson Wentz getting sent away and then they bring in, Matty Ice.
I mean, even going back to last season, they lost against the Jags and didn't get into the playoffs.
And Jim Irsay was like popping off on Twitter, just like so much drama. And then you think that they're going to be good. I thought they were going to be good. I completely drank the Kool-Aid. I was like, the Colts
Well, they won
are
their first game right after Jeff Saturday signed on. They beat the Raiders, but we were all like, whoa.
Yeah, we were watching it in Germany.
Yes. Oh my God. But
I
actually,
know.
what an insane season. Okay, those are the best sounds. Those are my favorite sounds. Maybe not the
Those
best
are
sounds.
great.
But I feel like that really encapsulates the vibe of this season. Chaos, spice, intrigue.
Chaos is the best.
Passion. Okay, coming up after the break, we are picking the games for Super Wild Card Weekend. That's fun.
Yay. Look at us.
Lots of giggles.
Look at your neighbor and say, secure the bag.
All right, we are picking some games, baby. I am so excited that the playoffs are starting. I'm working Saturdays. I'm working Sundays.
Ooh.
It is all about the football, baby.
That sounds fun.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be
I
great.
know I could have maybe been taken as a complaint, but no, I'm excited. I am actually
And I'm
going to
be watching you working.
There you go. What time do you wake up on the weekends?
It depends.
I hate you
I've been
so
trying
much.
to work, I've been trying to come up with a morning routine as part of my New Year's resolution.
New year, new you.
But I still am like getting up at 10.
10 is a little crazy.
I like to sleep.
I wake up at
so-
6:45, or at least I try.
What?
6:47.
That's my goal. How do I get there? What time do you go to bed?
Like 10:30.
What? And you're getting up at 6?
Yeah, I
Naturally?
just
Or
have
are
to,
you
like,
like setting an alarm?
Well, I also have. You have dogs. I set
Yeah.
an alarm and then I
Well,
take my
John-
dogs out and I try
John
to like.
walks the dogs. I don't walk the dogs.
Okay, let's get to some of these games. Let's start with Seahawks 49ers. Unfortunately, I do feel like this is the end of the road for the Seahawks.
Yes.
But I don't know. The 49ers are just so good. Their defense is so good. Mr. Irrelevant is very much relevant.
God. This Niners team is so good. It might be the most talented team in the entire NFL right now.
Brock Purdy getting put in for Jimmy G, it just kind of really, I don't think it's helped Jimmy in any way. Because it's kind of like a plug and play situation. Everyone around you is so good. The defense, Debo, George Kittle, then Christian McCaffrey came in and has been balling out since he got there. The 49ers may very well win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I have them as my pick.
I mean, I hate this in my heart because, I'm from Philly. So the Eagles, they, that is who is in my heart, who I want to go to the Super Bowl. But I really think the Niners are going to go. Their defense is so good. Their pass rush is incredible. They have so many great playmakers. And Kyle Shanahan does such a good job of scheming things up. And Debo Samuel, you can use him in so many different ways with Christian McCaffrey. And the last time
Debo and Christian are both kind of like this Swiss Army knife. Like they can just do anything.
Imagine being Kyle Shanahan and getting Christian McCaffrey and being like, oh my God, I have two of these guys that I can do whatever I want with all over the field. I think about Andy Reid when he had the crazy play, the snow globe play last week, where everybody ran around in the huddle and then there was some, misdirection, whatever else on the trick play. And I was like, oh my God, that we're going to see some crazy stuff from the Niners this year.
Because the Niners are going to get up so high in these playoff games that they can start doing snow globe plays if they choose to.
And the two worst games from Geno Smith this year were against the Niners, which it's unfortunate. I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball, the Seahawks.
It's been fun.
I know. This is it. But, you did make the playoffs, and I did not believe in the Seahawks at all in the offseason, during training camp and everything else. I was like, wait, so what exactly is the plan? This is the plan moving forward with Geno. And then
Geno
proved me wrong.
Remember?
Yeah.
It was so wild.
Yeah, it was a quarterback battle.
Yeah.
And Geno was not having it. He was very upset, as he should be, because he played really well this year. So hats off to Geno. Good job. It's over, though, now.
Yeah, enjoy your vacation. Okay, Dolphins-Bills is up next. Have we heard if Tua is playing in this game? I really don't want him to.
No, I don't think he is. I think it's Skylar Thompson.
Okay, great. Either way, the Bills are going to win this game.
Yeah.
The Bills are going to win this game, and this is another team that's just going to keep on going until they can't go anymore. I'm just all in on the Bills right now.
Yeah, of course.
Does it worry you at all that the Patriots gave them a little bit of a run for their money last week?
No, well, you know what worries me? The red zone interceptions that Josh Allen has thrown. There's been quite a few of them, and he keeps making these just little errors that you won't be able to make in the playoffs. You have to play absolutely perfect in the playoffs. But I do think that they have this now, this whole their mojo at this point is just so different because of everything that's happened with DeMar Hamlin and the way that kind of what that does to a locker room, what that does to a team. I mean, I think that goes such a long way. So this week, the Bills are absolutely going to win, but going forward, there could be some issues with them.
I agree. And to look back on that Patriots game, I really wanted the Bills to win by 1,000,000, but I was just these guys going to go and play football
honestly
after the week that they have just had.
Right.
So you could also chalk it up to being they've just had one hell of a week. Although they knew that DeMar was okay by then, it's still you just went through full trauma. You went through full trauma, and then you had to play football less than a week later.
It was traumatic for me.
All of us.
Everyone experienced some form of trauma or being triggered watching that, because there are so many people, for me, when I hear that he went into cardiac arrest, I'm like, okay, I know it's not just me that think about this, but many people who have had loved ones that have gone into cardiac arrest or anything like that. And for the players watching their expressions, seeing Josh Allen crying, seeing Tre'Davious White in hysterics, Diggs, that was so jarring. And the rest of the night, that was on my birthday, and I'm watching it, and I already hate my birthday, and I'm watching it, and I was just this is so scary and upsetting. And I just the rest of the night I felt I just wasn't okay after watching it. Like, it was so jarring.
My point being, I do think that, 2 weeks removed from that, DeMar is at home. Hopefully they will have, dealt with their stuff a little bit more. I think there'll be more of a no. I can't.
Them trying to actually think about football. Like when something like that happens, you're just like, none of this matters. None of this is important. Like all of this, the people that we're with in this locker room and our friends.
I think we could see this game. I know that last week everyone was like they're going to blow out the Patriots. I feel like this is that moment against the Dolphins. Even though the Dolphins put up a fight against them a couple weeks ago when it was very cold. Okay, Giants-Vikings.
All right. This one, honestly,
I mean Vikings, but
I guess. I don't know. I actually ended up picking the Giants.
Really?
This was my most difficult game to pick this week because the Vikings are constantly right there. Like, I don't believe at all whatsoever in the Giants.
Nope.
But the Vikings, it's like, and I've said this all season long, every single win, they are just white-knuckling their way to the finish line.
Totally. And for the Giants, I feel like, you mentioned the Saints, and, obviously those are two very different teams, but, nothing really about the Giants season stands out to me at this very moment.
No,
maybe in the beginning,
Barkley.
things were kind of hot, and we were like, okay, Giants.
I
dressed up as Dable for Halloween.
Oh, that was so good.
We were hot on them, and then the latter half of the season, they were kind of just floated on by, and now they're in the playoffs.
I know, but they do have their defensive line's really good, and the Vikings' offensive line is not. So that is the one place where I'm like, okay, they could win in the trenches.
The season before this one, the Vikings were crazy. They lost all of their one-score games, and now we're this year, and they've kind of flipped, and they've won all of their one-score games. But the problem is they are still keeping all of these games insanely close. But there's a lot of people that still believe in Kirk Cousins, especially at this network. So
I know.
I guess we're gonna see. Winning a playoff game is going to be a good start.
Maybe the Vikings are just the most resilient team we've ever seen in NFL history.
You could look at it that way.
If they end up winning a Super Bowl by one score, can you imagine? It won't happen.
I'm not subscribing to that.
That would be the most disappointing year.
Okay, this next one I think is pretty easy. We don't have to spend too much time on it. Ravens-Bengals. Bengals. Easy. Done.
Bengals.
Right?
Yeah.
What is going on with the Ravens this year? What's
What
going
is
on with
going
Lamar
on with
Jackson?
I don't know. This is the biggest mystery ever because
I don't think he's going to be back next year.
Well, who knows? Because
I think he's looking at this team and he's like, this is not a team that I could win a Super Bowl with, so I'm going to sit out.
They could, well, yeah, that's true because they could franchise tag him at this point. But I don't know if that's what's going to happen because we've seen guys threaten to sit out. And even John Harbaugh, listening to his sound bites being asked, if Lamar, just updates on Lamar.
Yeah.
And they're just so all over the place. They start one way and John Harbaugh sounds optimistic and he sounds like he's been clued in on everything that's happening. And then the more time that passes and the more he's asked about it, the more vague he gets and the more all over the place his responses are.
Somebody tweeted, and I can't remember who it was, but it was does you know how Lamar just kept on getting sick this year? Or who knows what's going on with him? Somebody tweeted, does Lamar cross the crosswalk by pressing it with his tongue?
What?
He just keeps on getting these mysterious colds.
Are you okay? I thought that was part of the bit.
Maybe I crossed the crosswalk by pressing it with my tongue today. Okay, go Bengals. Cowboys-Bucks. This is a little bit interesting.
Yeah.
Because you got Tom Brady on one side with a mess of an offense that has been messy literally all season. Going back to the Germany game. That was literally their only one shining moment.
And we were like, oh my God, they can run the ball and the offense is back. Look at Tom Brady.
It was amazing. And I'm so glad that is the Tom that I got to see. I'd never seen him play before. So
really?
That was very fun. And if he caught that ball and didn't slip, that would have been even better. He's putting on a show, baby. But the Cowboys are the Cowboys. And I feel like this is the prime spot to disappoint everybody. It's America's team. This is just what they always do.
What, disappoint?
Disappoint.
Yeah.
Blow it.
I love it.
Right?
I love it.
Who are you picking in this game?
So I picked the Bucks in this game. I picked the Bucks because I think the Bucks can be sneaky, frisky, and spoil someone
pick the Bucks too.
like the Cowboys.
I'm going to pick the Bucks too. Screw it.
I think you should.
Yeah.
Well, because the Cowboys have a lot of issues with turnovers, too, at this point. Dak Prescott has a lot of uncharacteristic mistakes. Now, their pass rush is really, really good, Dallas's, but Tom Brady can get rid of the ball so fast. The only problem is his receivers are a little bit older. He kind of needs to, like, hang on to the ball to wait for them to get downfield. But we saw him link up with Mike Evans this week. So maybe that's just like a little warm-up before the games actually matter.
This latter half of the season for the Cowboys has been so weird. I remember the Cowboys were such a huge favorite against the Texans, and Mike McCarthy was just like, this is like a cheese trap game or whatever, something to do with cheese. Is the cheese game?
Cheese?
Like, don't take the cheese. Don't take the cheese. Don't just like waltz in here and like think everything's okay because you're such a huge favorite. And then they ended up beating the Texans 27-23. Then the Jags beat them the next week in overtime. They beat the Eagles, which was a feather in their cap. Then they beat the Titans.
Gardner Minshew.
Then they lost to the Commanders last week or on January 8th. So go Bucks.
I like it. I think the Bucks are going to win this game.
I love that.
And you know what's so this is another point that is so dumb, but Jason Garrett brought it up on their show Sunday Night Football. And so apparently Dallas is 1-4 when playing on natural grass.
What?
And that is like a thing. And the pass rush plays different on natural grass because of like the way that your footing is. So maybe that's another reason that the Bucks will win. That's a deep cut for you.
That is some serious deep diving.
Let's talk about grass.
Okay, and then the final game is Chargers-Jags.
Yes.
Before going into this week, I think I would have taken the Chargers.
Okay.
But I don't know. There's something like kind of fun about the Jags right now. I was listening to Trevor Lawrence's post-game press conference from this past weekend. It's like he has grown up literally like 7 years
right before
in the past 12 months. Getting rid of Urban, having a new coach, a refresh start. He's like an adult that's leading a team.
You know, this game is so amazing because it's just like two blondie quarterbacks. Like, but Trevor Lawrence having Doug Peterson with him has just made so much of a difference, and everything just seems to be working so much better for them. Their playmakers, their wide receivers are getting open downfield. Like, it's just a totally different team watching them. Now, I will say I'm actually going to take the Chargers in this one because when these two teams played earlier in the season, the Jags won. But that was right after Justin Herbert had gotten cracked in the ribs on that Thursday night game.
And wouldn't stop playing.
Yes, he went back in, and then you could tell that he just still wasn't back yet. Like, he was hesitant. His throws were off. Everything was kind of off with him. And then also, they didn't have Keenan Allen in that game. So now this offense has Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, and Justin Herbert, and I think it's just like completely different with those three playing together.
I'm back on board. And you know what? It didn't take long. The Chargers Twitter does such a great job. Like, literally from the draft to all season long, they do such a phenomenal job. And I urge you to go to Twitter right now and check out the most recent video that they posted. They basically took all these takes that said the Chargers are garbage, Chargers are no good, Justin Herbert's a social media quarterback, blah, 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 blah.
Justin Herbert is my daddy.
Thank you for that. That was not in the rundown, was it? Justin Herbert is my daddy, so I'm taking the Chargers. But they printed off all the receipts, people, okay? And they're proving people wrong.
I think MJD was on there, too.
Yes,
I think I sent it to him, and I was like, ooh, this is from our show. They got you.
Oh, I'm always holding my breath. Because I'm like, I'm not an analyst. Like, I'll just say fun things. I just, like, want teams to win that I want to win. So I'll say whatever.
Oh,
and I'm always holding my breath.
I got by the Titans one year.
I got in a good way by the Rams, which was fun. Because I'm always, like, retweeting those.
When it's, like, a good way, that's great. When it's a bad way.
Not fun.
You can't go online.
Old takes exposed.
For years.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't see my mentions for so long.
I had to say goodbye to my mother because I don't know when I'm going to see her again. I have to go into hiding.
And I got called in the principal's office. Like, and it wasn't even anything bad. Yeah, so listen.
What are we supposed to do, guys? We got to pick these games.
Come on.
All right, coming up after the break, we are going to do the best thing and the worst thing that I saw all week. There's some doozies here.
Okay.
So just get ready.
All right.
Get ready for this. That was great.
This is fun.
He's the best.
All right, Call, here are the best and the worst things that I saw all week.
Okay.
Starting with the best, and it is Baker Mayfield. And this is what I'm going to read what he said, okay? I'm not just going to go and chase a check to go start and play. After seeing a place that makes me have fun playing football again, it's going to be hard to try something else new. But obviously, it's going to be a big-time decision. I feel like he fell in love with football again this season. I feel like he was so done dirty by the Browns in so many different ways. And that was like, he was having so much fun playing football there. Like, literally his entire body was falling apart at the seams, and he was still like going in like raw with these like, crazy braces. Literally everything had a brace on it. And then he went to Carolina, which was not good. And then he came to the Rams and had that one game, and that's enough.
I feel like the Panthers experience was not a positive one.
It was not
for him,
for anybody involved.
But I mean, come on, like, who doesn't like have their life changed when they come to LA? Like, move to LA and everything changes.
I think that they should have a new season of The Hills starring Colleen and I.
Oh my God, yes.
Just following us around to Erewhon.
It would just be me eating meals in my car alone. Like, that's what I'd
be putting like mascara on in a hurry because I'm like stuck in traffic.
Like sriracha all over my hoodie.
Okay, and here's the worst thing that I saw. I actually really do not like this. This irked me. I believe we have sound.
You said you're a competitor, so if they come to you in March and say, look, we're going to keep you, we like you, we're going to develop you, but we're signing veteran X to be our starter, how would you feel?
Yeah, I'm going to make that dude's life hell in practice every day. You know, I'm gonna go out there and do my best to just show the coaches that I deserve to be there. And you know, and it's not in a negative way, it's a positive way. It's making everybody else, you know, better, hopefully, and you go out there and you just attack every single day.
I'm going to make that guy's life hell. But in like a positive way.
He just never can understand the assignment. Like, Zach Wilson, come on, buddy. Like, I don't know. And looking at him,
does the team have a PR?
He looks innocent, but he just like never is saying the right thing.
He looks like a little angelic angel that's just always putting his foot in his mouth.
And he smiles with his dimples.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. I'm going to make his life hell. It's so bad. It was really bad.
It's
so bad.
It's like, how exactly are you going to do that?
Yeah, what are you going to do?
I would love to see what that entails.
Literally everybody shows up wearing that new guy's face on a t-shirt. Guys, that is our show. Big thanks to Colleen Wolfe for hanging out. We love you. Thank you for listening. Make sure you are subscribing and giving us a 5-star review and following us on Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff so that you can see and hear all of the clips that we just talked about in this show. Enjoy Super Wildcard Weekend. Come back.
Okay. Anytime.
Anytime.
Great.
Okay.
Later, guys.
We're just going to book you every week for this.
Okay.
Little while.
Awesome.
Okay. Love you. Bye.